everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. It is Friday, May 7, 2021. I just wanted to come here and give you the breaking news that's happening right now. So as we know, in the case of George Floyd, the jury found guilty Derek Chauvin about a couple of weeks ago. So he was found guilty. He's due to be sentenced this upcoming month in June, but just now, about half an hour ago, the other three other officers that were present during that time, who also helped contribute to holding George Floyd down while he was being killed, I guess you can say, and who also never said anything about anything, who also just, you know, I think that showed that really poor teamwork, because when you see the person being arrested, and you see just one of your colleagues doing an excessive force, putting the knee to the neck, and you're also part of that, and it's not like it was 10 of them, it was just 3 other men, grown men, police officers, who none of them say, hey, get your leg out of there. Like, he's screaming, he can't breathe, he's having a hard time you know, being on the floor. Can we just wrap it up, put the handcuff on him, and get him off the ground? But nobody spoke up, nobody said anything. And you know, we all work with people, we work with teammates and co-workers, and you cannot help it but wonder what went through their minds that none of them spoke up to Derek Chauvin doing all of that to George Floyd. It's just human common sense that was missed during this whole ordeal that happened to George Floyd. None of the men that were there, these police officers, said, hey Derek, can you just, okay, let's get him off the ground, we'll finish up paperwork, whatever it is that they were doing, because it did take a long time. It took a long time because even after the ambulance got there, Mr. Chauvin had the knee on George Floyd's neck. And nobody seemed to kind of like have a problem with that, because we see none of his co-workers said anything, at least from the point of view that we as the public saw, which we saw the cop, I don't know what his name is, I'm trying to like speak with the crowd that was gathering around it, and then everybody else was just on the other side of that truck of George Floyd's car. But anyways, let me just read to you this article. A federal grand jury has indicted former Minneapolis officers for violating the civil rights of George Floyd, the black man who died last May during an arrest in the city. The indictment, nearly 3 weeks after one of those ex-cops, Derek Chauvin, was convicted at a state trial of murder and manslaughter in the death of George Floyd. Let me just tell you guys, because I know there's a lot of opinion, people want to justify things and you know, saying that George Floyd this and the other. Let me just tell you something. Regardless of somebody's past or what they have done or what kind of track record they had, when somebody's screaming out to you and saying, I cannot breathe, that's just human knowledge that you need to stop what it is that you're doing, unless you're purposely doing that to hurt the other person. Okay, so Chauvin has held his knee on near George Floyd's neck for more than 9 minutes. So it took 9 minutes for the his knee on his neck. And then so the other officers were, let me tell you, there's a huge picture of them, you know, the picture that came out last year. I remember watching that. It was like, wow, you know, that's why you have to be so careful, guys, to follow the crowd, to follow popular opinion. You have to, it's just human kind of like compassion inside of you that say, hey, stop doing that. I don't care if you're my boss. You know what I mean? Like, if you're being, I mean, if they're saying that Derek was a bully, it seemed like he's the one that he was kind of managing the whole thing. That didn't seem to me like it was. Because I don't care if I get fired. If I was one of those officers and I see the person on the floor saying I can't breathe, I'm gonna say, hey, can you take your knee off? Maybe we can get him out. Somebody should have said something. None of them did. And that also felt, besides Derek Chauvin, like, he can be you know, he know what he did, his own mind, whatever. But other three people that had the authority to perhaps say something, because the only person that were saying something for George Floyd was him and the people that were gathering, but none of these officers said anything. So they also failed George Floyd. Okay, and this is why you have to be careful, because your life can change at any moment. You need to stop following the crowd, okay? Have compassion for people. Let me tell you out there, just because somebody else is doing something doesn't mean it's always right. You have the right to speak up and say something about it, okay? And this is how they found themselves in this situation. Now, all three of them are being indicted, and they're going to go on trial in August. So let me just read to you their names. It's Alexander Quinn, Thomas Lane, and Tao Dao. All other three officers involved in the George Floyd death are also being indicted, and they're going to stand trial in August. This is the breaking news that's happening right now. Thank you guys so much for coming back to my channel. Let me know what you guys think. I hope everybody's having a great Friday. God bless. So much for watching my channel. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. I hope to see you in the next video.